afternoon. It is once again 5:30 on a Friday afternoon, and this is your host for the next 25 minutes of Hotline 21, the most interactive television show in America. Not just this one show, but all of the shows. Because you, the audience, get the opportunity to set the pace. You determine what it is that we actually talk about and what is the hot topic of the day or the hot topics of the day. And I'm always delighted to be here to report to you for a minute or two about what's going on in Washington, District of Columbia, where I have spent the week and where I will be going right back to on Monday. Because our country, some people think that our government right now is the hottest show in the world. Well, let me just tell you, because of the fact that people are not agreeing on everything as it relates to our government, don't get the impression that government has gone absolutely off its ringer, that people have gone berserk. What has happened is that we have a real showman personality in the seat of the presidency. The presidency is going to be there no matter what. The president is elected every 4 years by the people. And no matter what goes on, what has made America the America that it is the continuous involvement and participation of the people. And there have been times when people have had to do a lot of things. Once they had to throw tea in the bay and declare their independence from Great Britain and to the king. And there have been other things that they've had to do. Women have had to march, demonstrate, struggle, not cook, not clean house, withhold sex, all kind of different things in order to try and get their rights to participate. So don't you give up just because you may not like the president. Don't you stop being engaged. Don't you stop being involved because things may not be going the way you want them to go. An enlightened, participating citizenry is the best safeguard that we have in relationship to government. We've got a caller on the line. I'm going to go and give our caller. James, how you doing?
Okay, like I said last week, God is bringing everybody. God is bringing Donald Trump them down, and people who vote for Donald Trump, like Joe and them, God will bring them down too.
Well, you know, God, to me, is all powerful.
'Cause he brings a lot. He brings.
But God works through human beings. God works through each and every one of us. And so if we are godly, that is God-like, you know, there are some things that God say, love your neighbor, love your brother, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
They should vote for Hillary. They should vote for Hillary.
And lean not to your own understanding.
Okay, God.
So there are a lot of things that God sort of instructs us to do. And I want to thank you, James, for calling. For your...
They should have voted for Hillary.
All right. Well, you take care and have a good evening. All right, we'll go to our next caller. Caller, are you there?
I sure am, Congressman Davis. I just want to know, Congressman, for the last 15 years, nothing has gotten better. You've thrown more money at different things, and nothing has gotten better, especially here in Chicago. Crime is worse, killings are worse. So, what are we supposed to do? I mean,
Well, let me ask you, what?
Wait, let me just ask you this. Let me ask you this, Congressman. Do you think that maybe, yes, maybe, people start voting the right way? They're not just because the aldermen say so. And that, because I'm 69 years old. I'm a veteran like you, and I get, and nothing's going right. It's gotten worse, this country. At least when I was in Vietnam, I knew who I was fighting. Here, you don't know who you're fighting anymore. You know, you can't go to the park. The only thing you can do, last year, was spin around in the yard. Now you can't do that. Now they come on your porch.
But let me ask you, don't we really know who we're fighting? I'm saying, I kind of got an idea of who I need to fight. I want to fight those who are trying to take us back to days of yesteryears. I want to fight those who don't believe in equal opportunity, equal justice. Those who don't believe that every man ought to have a right to the goodness and greatness that this country pretends to be. And so, those who don't want that, for everybody, those are the people that I fight.
Okay, Congressman, one quick question, please. Why is everybody jumping? I'm a Democrat. Why is everybody jumping on Trump? He's not been in office 3 months yet, and he's got 87 things wrong with him already.
Well, you see, you're a Democrat, right?
Give the guy a chance, we'll be all right.
Well, let me ask you, you're a Democrat, right? So that means you believe in certain things. Do you think that Trump believes in the same things you believe in? Did I lose you? I think maybe I lost that caller, but I really wanted to get a response from him. So, okay, but if he comes back, I definitely want to take him because I want to try and understand what the differences are between different people, different ideologies, and why people may be disagreeing with President Trump. Maybe we got him back. Caller, are you there?
Good evening.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Oh, fine. It's good to hear you and see you on TV back here in Chicago.
Well, thank you.
No, I called last week, and I guess you were picking up on where we left off last week, and it was about, I guess I want to say how it seems like there's so many, I don't want to say immigrant-type people, but people coming to the United States and becoming constituents of certain politicians, and these politicians, I guess, making these people, promising these people citizenship, where I guess you got a lot of people that are indigenous people here who take citizenship for granted and are not constituent-minded, and pursuing the statesmen or politicians to work on their behalf for what it is that they need as citizens.
Well, yeah, but it takes a majority of people to control the direction of a country or a government. And I should say the majority of involved people. And it's the majority of involved people that determine who gets elected. One can be as smart as they can be, as bright as they can be, as intelligent as they can be, but if they're not participating, then they don't help constitute that majority of people who determine the direction of government.
Well, that's my point exactly, and it seems like with not just days gone by or yesteryears or yesterdays, but with all of the rhetoric and propaganda that's going on and protests about, you know, people's involvement or lack of involvement with the, I guess, want to say, democratic process. You know, there was a lot of things that were whitewashed or erased out of regular citizenship. You know, for instance, saying the Pledge of Allegiance, people learning things, you know, common things that new citizens come and learn, but, you know, the indigenous people here have been, I guess, mind-washed to believe that those things are, you know, things that they should protest, you know.
But do you think that the new immigrants can outvote people who are here already?
Sure, I think they can if they come in mass numbers with.
But they gotta get registered. They first gotta get citizenship. They gotta do a whole lot of things in order to exercise power.
Well, I guess they have these special interest groups who focus their voting potential, you know, to in exchange for their loyalty to become, you know, the citizens. You know?
Well, I do believe
Steps a lot of indigenous people and put the indigenous people to the back of the line, and you know, put these special interest people out in the front of the line. You know?
But have the indigenous people lost hope, or have they given up?
Well, they haven't given up, but I mean, they just again, I think maybe they've been brainwashed or just circumcised to the point where they just don't participate.
Let me ask you
You used
this.
to have scouts. You used to have.
There you go.
Think about the scouts because of what was it? You know, sexual preferences and this kind of thing. And those things got set aside. You know, people they just don't. Then you got gangs that come in and take over where the scouts were. Now you got, you know, a thing called gangbanging.
All right. Let me ask you. We got an election coming up for governor. Have you decided who you're going to support yet?
Well, I haven't really missed any elections, and I guess that's still, you know, wait and see who might come along, you know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the folks are beginning to run now. And so it's time to start deciding who we like and who we don't like. And I'm trying to make up my mind of who that's going to be. As soon as I make up my mind, I'm going to get out and go to work for them.
Right. Well, it's sad to say sometimes I just vote with the party line, you know, but I was, you know, persuaded that wasn't a good thing to do all the time. You know?
All right. Thank you so much for your call. And call us back, and we're going to go and take this next caller.
Yes, Congressman. You sat there and said that you think that I agree with everything Trump wants to do. I don't. I said, give him a year. And if he's not up to snuff, then I'll go on your show, shake hands with you, and we'll get him out. How's that?
That sounds all right.
Because I vote for who I want to vote for. Not because they're Republican or Democrat, because they're the best at what they do. So that's the kind of voter I am. Not everybody votes.
And you make that decision yourself, right?
Of course. Right now, I know who I'm going to vote for. But I ain't going to tell you because I ain't ready to. And you had asked that man before me who he was going to vote for. And then you said you're going to let everybody know when you make up your mind. So I'm saying things.
Yeah, the election that I'm talking about now is going to be next year. That election won't be coming up until.
69 years old. I might get drafted. I don't care about next year. I know when I get to vote, I go to vote for who I think. Not anybody else. Just like you, Congressman. Just like you. I know you're going to have that booth thinking. But once you get in there, you know who you're going to vote for. So, but the only thing I'm mad about is that my city, my great city, has gotten so bad that we got to do something.
Well, we got to join up.
You do.
I think what we have to do is join up with people who think the way we do so that our numbers become greater than people who think differently than we do. You gotta be a majority. You gotta be the most. Caller, are you there?
Yes, Congressman. And you know what? It's a great day to be on God's green earth. But I've been listening to what people been saying, also listening to you also. Listen to me. Number one, we should have had a different president in because the lady won the popularity contest. She should have been awarded the winner. But we have this thing called electoral.
We sure do.
We didn't have that at one time.
And when we did set it up, it was set up with the idea that it was going to protect the minorities. And I don't mean racial and ethnic. I mean small states. There was a fear that the big states would just dominate everything.
Well, it did. It did, if you want to look at it. But either way it goes, let me tell you something, and this is my opinion. Anyone who saw our president won this election, they should have had a little clue to themselves. Something is not right here. I mean, he was speaking things that certain people like to hear. Let's send people to jail. Let's lock them up. Let's deport them. See, certain people likes to hear that. That's why, it's a shame. The year 2017, people still hate people because of color, creed, religion, of anything. And that's what that man brought up. But again, I think the most important thing, I think the United States of America should have had some kind of said, this can't be right. I think every intelligence department we had should have done trying to figure out this can't be true. Not even a politician, and he wasn't a good actor on TV.
Let me tell you, he looked like he's acting pretty good. He acted his way into the presidency.
You know what's going to happen to him too, Congressman?
What?
One day he's going to be on Air Force One claiming two things is going to happen to him. He's going to be on Air Force One, get up, want to go to the washroom, open up the wrong door, and he's going to be out that plane. Number two will be he will be impeached. Now, if people can't see what's going on, it's truly something wrong. It's truly something wrong. This man needs to be out of there. So I know, and it seems like I'm talking hatred. I'm not talking hatred because of color or anything else. What he preached for, what he stands up for, that's what I don't like.
So you preaching love.
Do I love him? Donald Duck? Listen, Donald Duck, I didn't like Donald Duck cartoons. So you know I don't like no Donald Duck in the office. And you got Tweety Bird in there. You got all of the cartoon characters in there. Just look at them. Let me get out there.
All right.
Angry.
Okay. Thank you so much. Caller, are you there?
Yes. Thank you, Congressman, for your service. You've been such a blessing to all the people of the United States of America.
Thank you.
Is this. Don't complain. Vote. Too many people stayed home thinking that we had this election all sewed up. And you see how the people came out of the woodwork, so to speak, to show us how they were thinking right along with this this man in the White House. So now you know how the majority of people were thinking.
Well, but you know, you mentioned people voting. They just had an election not long ago in the 4th Ward, and I think 16% of the people voted.
See?
Out of 100 people, only 16 of them voted.
Now see, that right there is a crying shame. You see, so you can't say anything. So far, we have it's totally disgraceful what he's doing, holding the people with the left as they like. And I didn't vote for him either. But nevertheless, we have to get this man out of office, the governor, and agree with the other caller that let Donald Trump be Donald Trump. He shall be impeached. I should hope so. I pray so.
All right, so you're not a fan of Donald Trump's either, huh?
We love you and keep on fighting.
Thank you very much. We'll go right to the phone and take our next caller.
Good evening, Dr. David, U.S. Representative, 7th District.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry about Donald Duck because they're going to be making chicken soup out of him because I'm using the I word, impeachment. And I already got my bet in because they already was, Vegas was making bets about when he was going to be impeached. And I'm saying about September. Don't worry, he's going to be gone.
So you think there was going to be enough animosity existing that Congress will bring impeachment charges against the president?
Look, just get a man enough rope, he's going to hang himself. It's just an accident was waiting to happen. He's going to be gone. Don't worry, folks. He's going to be gone. He ain't going to be around. He's going to be disgraced out of office. Take care.
All right. Well, it seemed to be kind of running sentiment. But what about these local offices? We got, there are some things that the president does, but then there are things that local elected officials will do as well. And then there are people who would like to be elected officials. As a matter of fact, I had a call yesterday from a reporter telling me about a young person who was going to run in the 7th district and asked me what I thought about it. And I said, well, I think it is America, and anybody who would like to run for public office, even if they run against me, I welcome them because it's their right to do so. And it really is their right to do so. And I hope that we'll just invigorate people all over the country. And people will just be running, trying to scramble to get in there so that they can help make decisions. Time's up. We got to go. I'll see you next week. Be good to yourself and even better to somebody else. Take care.